Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. Now today's video is November and December finished pages. I didn't manage to do all that much in November, so I just decided to skip that month and add it to December, so I hope that you don't mind, but there's a good amount. There is one picture that I finished as well this month I can't actually share because I did it for Colour in Heaven, so that'll be in next month's finished pages, I think. But while I've got this one on the top, this is the one that I finished just last night. So this is Mystic Art Mirrors Candies and Cream. I was really lovely gifted this gorgeous colouring book by Deb, one of my subscribers, and she's a friend as well on Facebook. And I did this one. It did take me 4 nights, I think, especially at the minute. I'm just currently exhausted all the time, so I'm only managing an hour or 2 if I'm lucky of an evening to actually colour, so I don't think I did too bad. I based all this with alcohol markers, I do believe, yeah, and the paper in these books are incredible for any sort of media, even watercolour. I mean, it's not the greatest at watercolour, you can see, you know, you can get some decent effects, but you could probably gesso these pages. And at first I didn't like this book because it was really hard to break the spine of it, but once I'd done it, it's completely flat now, so it's perfect. So yeah, I did use the Ohuhu alcohol markers, polychromos as usual for the hair, and then I used Prismacolor for her skin, and then that you can see is a Renaissance palette that was from about 2 or 3 years ago. It was a Christmas palette, so I don't think it's available anymore, but that's what that gorgeous colour is there that you can see. But I did actually go over the top of that with a really thin layer of acrylic paint and just water, and I mean a really thin layer, just to give it the look. It's not picking up on camera, or maybe because of that glistening it's too cold, but I did put a thin layer. And then because I didn't want to waste the paint, I put the leftovers on the bowl, and then on the middle of, what is that, candy machine on a head, and then just went over everything with a white acrylic paint pen. But yeah, I really enjoyed doing that. It did take me, like I said, quite a while than what I'm used to, but I still really enjoyed doing that one. I might actually pick another page to do this month. There's some really cute pictures in this, and I might be wrong, but I'm sure the last time I checked Etsy she might have been doing a Christmas sale, so I don't know if that is still on. So that's the first one I want to show you. It's not, obviously, definitely not in order. None of these are in order because I put them on my little Alex drawer set that I keep all my finished pages on, and then throughout the month I look at things that I've finished and then come back, and then they just get mixed up. But this is another one from Mystic Art Mirrors, and I think this is based off Wednesday from the Addams Family. So obviously this was around Halloweeny time that I did this, and I printed this on the mixed media Strathmore paper, the tan paper. Really good paper. I do prefer the Strathmore tan toned paper over this, but if you listen how thick it is, it's a dream to work on. It's good for watercolour. It's probably just as good as that book because it is a mixed media, and I use Prismacolor for all of this, I do believe. I might have done the hair with something else because I might have even done a video on it. I've been so behind on doing anything to do with YouTube, so I'm forgetting whereabouts I'm up to. But how cute is she? I might even replace her. I'm going to do it now. I might even put them up together from the month before. Shall I just keep it up and have a change? Shall I put both of them up like that? See if I can do that. I've got one of them pegboards from IKEA. It's just in front of me. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to put both of them on just for a change. The next one I did was a Hannah Lynn PDF. I bought this book years ago at this point, and I'd printed out the whole book on paper that I don't care for now, but you know, I've got it. It's just waste of paper, waste of ink if I don't use it. So most of this is just alcohol marker with a tiny bit of Prismacolor over the top. I haven't even got in and like done details of the moon and stuff. I was just over this picture by then, I think. But I was testing out some new pens that you can see that are glistening there. I've not even put highlights in the eyes. What is going on? This should be okay because I was using it just last night. Let me just pop just a few highlights. And maybe some on our lip as well, just so it feels finished. So that one is handling. I can't remember what... It weren't Mythical Maidens. I can't remember which book it was from this. Like I said, I've had it for years and years at this point. So yeah, that was that one. One in Misfits. I just fancied colouring a Misfits page. I have no idea why. I don't tend to reach for these boots all that often because I really dislike the paper. But again, I've got these boots. I paid for them, so I am going to use them. I have used some of the book as testers. I think I did clear gesso. No, look. When I've tried doing an alcohol marker so it doesn't bleed through. Did it bleed through though? It didn't bleed through, but I've got a better hack for that now. The Daniel Smith watercolour grind. I did do a whole video on that if you're interested. But I finished this one. And I believe I used the Derwent's... It was either the Inktense or the other ones that are more like muted tones. And I can't remember the name of the pencils. I'm on a roll, aren't I, today? Yeah, I can't remember. Because it was so long ago, this night. It was literally like two... Did I do an October's finished pages? You know what? I don't think I did. Or did I? I might not have done, so this might actually be October, November and December. Because I've got a funny feeling, because we're seeing all these Halloween pictures, I've got a funny feeling that I didn't, but I could be wrong. So yeah, that's the Misfits, a winter fantasy colouring book for adults and odd children. That's number 10. And then we've got Wildflower Folk by Christine Karen. I do try my best to do a picture out of this each month, but I think I only managed 1 out of the 3. But I have previously done loads of these illustrations. They're just the PDF forms. But I would like to complete this book. It's such a nice book. Paper's really nice in it. But I finished this one and I went for all like pastels. You know what, I'm going to keep that in there. Pastel tones, more muted tones. And I think it turned out really cute. And look, like rainbow skin even. Which I'm not a fan of doing skin at the best of times. But I think if I put a little bit of colour that shouldn't be there or what is normally not there, I tend to enjoy colouring it a little bit more. Opposed to it just being a normal skin tone colour. So you might see this a little bit more after because there's blues, purples, yellows, pinks, normal skin tone colours. You know, there's a good mixture there. But I used, just looking at this here, how the dress came out, I did a video on this, didn't I? Was it the... I'm sure it was the Albert Durers that I did. Yeah, the Albert Durers for this one. And the paper takes it absolutely beautifully. And then just some watercolour in the background. I'm telling a lie if I say I remember what sort of watercolours. This is the problem about waiting for so long without doing a video. But yeah, I love how that one turned out. I'm going to pull the watercolour pencils out again this month because I do really enjoy using them. Now, this one was a labour of love. A labour of love. It took me over a week of solid working on this. And I'm really happy with it, don't get me wrong. I sort of forced myself to work in this book. It's not my favourite. But in saying that, I really enjoyed doing this one. And it is, again, with the Albert Durers, the Faber-Castell watercolour pencils. So you can see, you know, there's no alcohol marker or anything like that. I didn't prep the page. And then the background is just straight up watercolour. And yeah, like I said, it was a labour of love. But I think it turned out brilliant. Like really vibrant, that's what I had in my head. And I just wanted the coral to be a little bit different. Normally coral I do like an orangey peachy colour. But last week, I did them all pink, and I really like how it turned out. So maybe it's actually changed my opinion about this book a little bit more now that I've done a page that I really like. I'm going to attempt to do another page maybe not that, maybe something a little bit easier, like seahorse maybe. I don't know, would you like a colour along in this one? So it's not my favourite, but I did really enjoy doing this one, so it's strange, isn't it? And I like the fact as well, it is a slightly small, I don't want to say it's slightly smaller book, because if I did this double page spread in her normal size boots, it would have took me even longer. But yeah, the Albert Durers work beautifully in this book, so yeah, I would definitely recommend. We've got another Hannah Calzone one. If you can hear squeals as well, my daughter still has squeals, she only goes back next week. So yeah, just in case you hear banging or squealing, she's watching a DVD and giving mummy time an hour to do filming. Anyway, I did this one, and I remember doing this one because this was like a challenge video. It was Colour with Claire's roulette game. I can't recommend that game enough. I'm actually planning on doing another video next week using that game, but I'm going to challenge myself a little bit more and actually use one of the wild cards as well, because it was so fun doing it. It was everything taken off you. You didn't have to pick the colours, you didn't have to pick the mediums, everything was chosen for you. I mean, it was a little bit of a challenge trying to make all these colours work that I wouldn't necessarily pick myself. And the dog's snoring. But yeah, I think it turned out quite good at the end. And I love how the background turned out as well. It's almost like marbling. Can I call it that? It's like all it is a really, really watered down watercolour. And it's not bled through as well. But yeah, I will link that video somewhere up here for you to click if you want to have a look. Because it is really fun, that challenge. By Colour with Claire. And then we've got Little Secrets from My Fairy House by Clara Markova. This is another one. I love her books, but I feel so guilty not colouring in them. I've just realised I've got a pen all the way down there. That is sad. Is that pen? That is pencil. Yeah, I feel really guilty owning these absolutely beautiful boots and not colouring in them enough. So this was another one that I said probably at the start of the last year. You know, I'm going to make sure I do one once a month, and I just never did. Yeah, it looked January, and it was a gift from my husband. He got me this. But I did this one. And again, it was the Albert Durers with this one. So I think when I'm struggling and not really knowing what I want to do, or if I want to sit down and colour, I tend to just pull them pencils out, because they're so easy to work with. There's such a nice selection. I think there's 120 pencils, I want to say. So there's a nice colour selection for you to pick from. They just blend beautifully together, and you don't have to sit there layers and layers and layers like with normal pencils. I just find them really easy to work with. They do take a little bit longer than, let's say, if you just straight up painted this page, but I think the finished piece is just a little bit more put together than me putting a lot of watercolour paint on. But in saying that, I could still do that, and it's still probably, if I took my time with watercolour, it still wouldn't look as nice as this. It's just them pencils. If you're going to get one set of watercolour pencils, I even choose them over Inktense. But yeah, that's that one. And if I remember rightly, there was just a watercolour background on that. I had to lift it up just to double check. But yeah, really enjoyed doing that. I think, is that the only Christmas page that I've done? There might be one more that I've not actually finished, which is terrible. Let me just double check. There might actually be 2 whips here. I've got Colour in Heaven, a Christmas special. Did I finish this? Oh yeah, I did. Yes, I did. I think I filmed this actually. The whole process of me doing this. I'm sure I did. But yeah, there's stickles and there's paint and there's gel pen. There's all sorts on this. It was a really fun page actually to do. I can't work out what pencils that I've used. And I've used alcohol marker as well as the base. I almost did that picture. So maybe next year, maybe this year, I'll do that picture. But yeah, nice magazine, that one. Now I'm looking at this one. Pop Manga Beauties and Pieces. I'm pretty confident I've not finished this. This is the B one from October, yeah. See that the bumblebee with the honey. So I need to keep that to one side because I've still not finished it. Naughty me. And the very last one is a Pokemon page. And I picked my husband's favourite Pokemon to do first, which is Gengar. And I cannot tell you how much fun I had doing this page. I have got a couple of other Pokemon boots, but they were like the later generations Pokemon that I weren't really... Not that I don't know them because I play all the games, but wasn't my favourite. But this one's made up of mostly like Gen 1 Pokemon. So the Pokemon that I grew up knowing, like Lapras. And I did see this on somebody's channel because I saw her colouring this Gyarados. I can't remember the name of the channel name, but I did share it on my community tab. As soon as I saw this picture, I shared her channel because I was so excited about this boot, and the way that she coloured it was amazing. She painted it. So I do apologise. I can't remember who initially got me onto this, but I think that Luke, it's the Eevees. Now, if you know me, I did have a Chihuahua who died coming up to 2 years ago, and she was called Eva. So I love anything to do with Eva. But yeah, that is my, I'm going to say November and December because I can't quite remember whether it was October as well. I'm going to have to, once I finish this video, go over to my channel and have a look because I'm not 100% sure. But looking at some of these Halloween pages, I've just got a funny feeling, especially that Wednesday one that's up there. I've got a funny feeling that I didn't do a video. But anyway, either way, I hope that you enjoyed the video. And here's to 2024, me having more time to actually sit down and do a couple more videos, which hopefully will get in the swing of things, although I do have a surgery coming up 18th of January, so wish me luck for that. But I will see you in my next video. Bye!